Masolka, Ivy Masters Learning Center and ivymasters.com, and today we're going to look at the 40th question from the Digital SAT Reading and Writing Potato Version, Test 1. And the question is, which finding, if true, would most directly support Paredes' argument? So we're looking out for Paredes. And we begin. In the 20th century, ethnographers made a concerted effort to collect Mexican-American folklore, but they did not always agree about that folklore's origins. Scholars such as Aurelio Espinosa claimed that Mexican-American folklore derived largely from the folklore of Spain, which ruled Mexico, and what is now southwestern United States from the 16th to early 19th centuries. Scholars such as Americo Paredes, by contrast, argued that while some Spanish influence is undeniable, Mexican-American folklore is mainly the product of ongoing interactions of various cultures in Mexico and the United States. So notice, and it seems like we see this pattern developing in this SAT, is that the question is oftentimes asking about the last sentence of our short paragraph, about the concluding sentence. That's what we find here. So let's review what Paredes is saying. He's saying that these stories, this folklore is coming not only from Spain. He does admit that it's from Spain, but he's also saying it's also from different cultures in Mexico and in the United States. And it did establish earlier in the paragraph that southwestern United States was once ruled by Spain. But regardless, let's go to the answer choices. Let's see what's supporting Paredes' argument. Answer choice A, the folklore that the ethnographers collected, including several songs written in the form of decima, a type of poem originating in late 16th century Spain. That's going to be wrong. Why? Excuse me. Because that's exactly what Espinosa would say. Espinosa would say that it comes from Spain. So that's one type of wrong answer, by the way, is it asks about one person, and one type of wrong answer is going to be correct for another person. So pay careful attention to what the question's asking about. We also see that when it asks about the author versus, and then it's stated as someone else in the passage. Answer choice B. Much of the folklore that the ethnographers collected had similar elements region to region. Now, it doesn't define region for us either in the passage or in this answer choice, but you could certainly say that Spain is one region, America or the United States is another region, and Mexico is another region. And it makes logical sense that if the folklore had similar elements, then, so let's say if it had an element in the Spanish story that's also in the Mexican and the American story, and there's an element in the Mexican story that's also in the American and Spanish story, and so on and so forth, then it does make sense that the stories came together from these ongoing interactions of the three different cultures. So we're going to leave that one. Answer choice C, most of the folklore that the ethnographers collected was previously unknown to scholars. So whether or not they knew about it has no bearing on what region it's from, whether it's just Spain or it's a mix between Spanish, American, and Mexican culture. Answer choice D, most of the folklore that the ethnographers collected consisted of corridos, ballads about history and social life of a clearly recent origin. I think one key in this answer choice is it says recent origin, and the passage is talking about the Spanish influence of Spain ruling Mexico 16th to 19th century. So it sounds like this folklore, even though that's the part that's talking about Espinosa, Paredes does say that Spanish influence is undeniable. And so it looks like a recent origin has nothing to do with supporting Paredes, who says that it's from various cultures. If it's got a recent origin, it's more likely, actually, if you think about it, to come from one culture rather than many different cultures. D is gone. Looks like our correct answer here is B. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has difficulty with reading comprehension questions. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. Click subscribe so you don't miss anything, and check out our 1-minute video on TikTok. Have a great day.